Most people do not pray. They only beg. It is not pleasure that makes life worth living. It is life that makes pleasure worth having. The liar's punishment is not in the least that he is not believed, but that he cannot believe anyone else. Just do what must be done. This may not be happiness, but it is greatness. The trouble with her is that she lacks the power of conversation, but not the power of speech. The test of a man or woman's breeding is how they behave in a quarrel. Being a mother means that your heart is no longer yours. It wanders wherever your children do. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. Success does not consist in never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. Doing what needs to be done may not make you happy, but it will make you great. I learned long ago never to wrestle with a pig. You get dirty, and besides, the pig likes it. The man with a toothache thinks everyone happy whose teeth are sound. The poverty-stricken man makes the same mistake about the rich man. Experience fails to teach where there is no desire to learn. When a stupid man is doing something he is ashamed of, he always declares that it is his duty. Beware of the man who does not return your blow. He neither forgives you nor allows you to forgive yourself. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. Better keep yourself clean and bright. You are the window through which you must see the world. If there was 20 ways of telling the truth and only one way of telling a lie, the government would find it out. It's in the nature of governments to tell lies. The truth is the one thing that nobody will believe. As long as I have a want, I have a reason for living. Satisfaction is death. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. Our necessities are few, but our wants are endless. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. The only person who acts sensibly is my tailor. He takes my measure anew every time he sees me. Everyone else goes by their old measurements. Beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance. We must always think about things, and we must think about things as they are, not as they are said to be. The only way to avoid being miserable is not to have enough leisure to wonder whether you are happy or not. The things most people want to know about are usually none of their business. The possibilities are numerous once we decide to act and not react. Clever and attractive women do not want to vote. They are willing to let men govern as long as they govern men. The longer I live, the more convinced am I that this planet is used by other planets as a lunatic asylum. Both optimists and pessimists contribute to society. The optimist invents the airplane, the pessimist the parachute. A socialist is somebody who doesn't have anything, and is ready to divide it up equally among everybody. There is not one single established religion that an intelligent, educated man can believe. We learn from history that we learn nothing from history. Life contains but two tragedies. One is not to get your heart's desire. The other is to get it. If you leave the smallest corner of your head vacant for a moment, other people's opinions will rush in from all quarters. The person I miss most is the one I could have been. What we want is to see the child in pursuit of knowledge, and not knowledge in pursuit of the child. Don't waste time collecting other people's autographs. Rather devote it to making your own autograph worth collecting. It is the first duty of every man not to be poor. Write your sad times in sand. Write your good times in stone. Life is not meant to be easy, my child, but take courage, it can be delightful. Hatred is the coward's revenge for being intimidated. After all, the wrong road always leads somewhere. Now that we have learned to fly the air like birds, swim underwater like fish, we lack one thing: to learn to live on earth as human beings. The best way to get your point across is to entertain. Our prejudices are so deeply rooted that we never think of them as prejudices, but call them common sense. Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, you will what you imagine, and at last you create what you will. Man's inhumanity to man is only surpassed by his cruelty to animals. Discussing vaccination with a doctor is like discussing vegetarianism with a butcher. Where there is no knowledge, ignorance calls itself science. Alcohol is the anesthesia by which we endure the operation of life. People expect too much of 1 year and too little of 10. Silence is the most perfect expression of scorn. Youth is a wonderful thing. What a crime to waste it on children. The greatest thing in life is to die young, but delay it as long as possible. The worst sin toward our fellow creatures is not to hate them, but to be indifferent to them. That's the essence of inhumanity. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. No diet will remove all the fat from your body, because the brain is entirely fat. Without a brain, you might look good, but all you could do is run for public office. He knows nothing and thinks he knows everything. That points clearly to a political career. Our lives are shaped not as much by our experiences as by our expectations. Do not do unto others as you expect they should do unto you. Their tastes may not be the same. Activity is the only road to knowledge. If you can't appreciate what you've got, you'd better get what you can appreciate. Start with the belief that your life can indeed be changed, and that you have the power to change it. Principles without programs are platitudes. I can't control what life did to me, but I can control how I react. Therein lies the difference. There is nothing more dangerous than the conscience of a bigot. If you begin by sacrificing yourself to those you love, you will end by hating those to whom you have sacrificed yourself. Liberty means responsibility. That is why most men dread it. Don't wait for the right opportunity, create it. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Indifference is the essence of inhumanity. Take care to get what you like, or you will be forced to like what you get. The man who has never made a mistake will never make anything else. Choose silence of all virtues, for by it you hear other men's imperfections and conceal your own. The moment we want to believe something, we suddenly see all the arguments for it, and become blind to the arguments against it. It is not enough to know what is good, you must be able to do it. The secret to success is to offend the greatest number of people. The more I see of the money classes, the more I understand the guillotine. People become attached to their burdens, sometimes more than the burdens are attached to them. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. Patriotism is your conviction that this country is superior to all others, because you were born in it. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. It is not that I am so clever. It is that everyone else is so stupid. We are made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility for our future. When a thing is funny, search it carefully for a hidden truth. We know there is intention and purpose in the universe, because there is intention and purpose in us. Tradition will accustom people to any atrocity. He who can, does. He who cannot, teaches. War does not decide who is right but who is left. Do not try to live forever. You will not succeed. You use a glass mirror to see your face. You use works of art to see your soul. Those who can't change their minds can't change anything. I believe in the discipline of silence and could talk for hours about it. Treat a friend as a person who may someday become your enemy, an enemy as a person who may someday become your friend. A thing that nobody believes cannot be proved too often. Old men are dangerous. It doesn't matter to them. What is going to happen to the world? A man never tells you anything until you contradict him.